had incredible vocals and audio, really strange stuff. But unfortunately, these cameras have a crappy microphone. So what they had was this tiny little hole right here. You can see it's very small. And in it, this has already been all pulled apart and reassembled, but in it was this little microphone. Little baby thing, a little piece of junk. And over this was a piece of like vinyl tape to keep it, weather tight. And which of course just blocked all the audio. And so what we're about to do here, or I am, is about to upgrade this with this mic. So it's got that little hole versus, which is 1 millimeter versus about 10 millimeters or 6 or 8 millimeters, something like that, of actual mic space, which is a huge difference. And this is a quality, cinema quality studio mic from Saramonic, and we're going to go ahead and chop that in. Also, this, of course, the mic cable here is just 2 wires, and it's not shielded or anything, so it gets tons of static and interference, which is also going to affect the transmission signal. And so what I'm going to do here is this is shielded cable, has 3 wires, and we're going to run the shielding to the PC board ground, and then that'll draw off any interference and it won't leak any or gain any, so that'll be clean with studio cinema quality. Then the stock antenna that's in here for the or the stock wire for the antenna is this little thin black wire here, and it's just a tiny, there's just a hair thin strand, and that'll create a bottleneck since we've got all this other amplified stuff, or it already does create a bottleneck. So we're going to upgrade that with a larger diameter shielded cable like this. And this will actually has a little socket, and it'll pop right on the board. It has the same pop, but it's got probably 4 or 5 times the wire diameter plus a lot higher quality shielding. And again, that'll stop interference from the mic and back and forth and keep a better signal transmission. And what I'll do is I'll be mounting that into the front of the case right here, and we'll put a hole in the front of the case. This mic will stick out of that hole in the front, and then we'll be able to throw a fuzzy windsock on there, and then that'll of course prevent any wind noise. So I'm going to spare you all the time it takes to solder all these together and get all this stuff in, and then I'll be back. We'll just do like movie magic. Well, this is the end result, and we're going to nickname this one Hot Rod because it's definitely been bumped up. As a matter of fact, this is the first cam that's ever got a solid green signal, full bars, that I've seen yet. Most of these get 2 bars when I fire them up in here. This one's got 4 to 5. And so that's amazing. And then what we've done in the front of the cam here as well, I'll tell you how I did what I did inside to get that signal so high. But here I've also added, instead of this little bitty tiny hole up here with this dumb mic they had in there that I showed, there's a cat. I've installed this big Saramonic microphone now. And so that's a studio quality mic, but that's in there. And like I said, we'll have a fuzzy windsock on top of that to control wind noise. So this is going to change the game. The other mod that was made to this camera that really made the huge difference in signal. So we upgraded the antenna to a 10 dBi antenna, but going down into a wire size about this small on the inside here, so this would be the inside of the jack where it connects, and this little plug connects to the board. We greatly upgraded that wire. So this little guy right here. And so we upgraded with one about 4 times that diameter, better shielding, no loss. So this would immediately create a bottleneck. So I take all this antenna gain in off these big antennas, and then it's going to choke point here because the wires, this is a shielded cable. So the wires inside are only like 3 little strands, just a little thicker than a hair, which just isn't going to cut it. So that's a choke point. So to remove that, like I said, we increased the diameter and very high quality one of these cables. It's a little longer inside, and then I mounted that cable inside the case, connected it to the board, and that bumped our signal. That doubled our signal off this big antenna. So now we can actually use the potential of these big antennas. So this is, like I said, this one we're going to call Hot Rod. That's number 2. So camera 2, when you see that one come up, that's Hot Rod. Cool. All right, now we got to get these things back in the field. This one does not have service yet. We're waiting on one more sponsor on this cam, and then it gets deployed, and it's going to get fully painted. And what I intend to do is go ahead and replace camera 1 at Intuition Point with this camera, high-end audio, super clean signal, and then we'll see what we get with that. I'll also color this one red to match the sandstone that the other one's placed in. So it'll be kind of a reddish camo, a lot better job camo in this one. So cool. Can't wait to get them in the field. This is going to be great. So cam 2 here had a little bit of an issue. Once I got it all done and went to fire it up, I had to get the service activated first, so I had to get our sponsorship figured out. But then once we got that done, I tested the mic and had no audio on it. And it's a bummer because this is the one we jacked into, upgraded the pigtail from the antenna to the board, and we also upgraded the microphone with the Ceramonic. I think it's a DK4A microphone, which costs like 5 times what the camera cost. And to get the right audio, and then of course I got none when we finally hooked it up. So I opened it up, and they had a different spec on their wiring and stuff, and get the ground strap in and all that. So once that was all straightened out, we got pure and beautiful clean audio, and the camera works great. So we got green 4-bar signal, only cam that'll pull that off so far. We got 2 bars when they come out of the factory. When we get them, we get 2 bars of signal on these little antennas. We get that raised up to about 3 bars with these larger antennas, and then replacing the internal pigtail max the signal and got us 4 to 5 bars and full green. So that's really spectacular. As you can see, this is a windsock. It's all been colored red now from the stock color because it just stood out like a sore thumb. And so I went ahead and colored it red to match the sandstone, because this is going to replace camera number 1 at IP01 location, because it's amped up, and we got such crazy vocals on that last live stream